Hello, welcome to Vlog 102. Yeah, so Prophetic Voice Vlog 102. Just wanted to share a few thoughts with you on the goodness of God. That is really where we are. Just God and how it's the goodness of God that leads men to repentance. Jesus went about preaching the kingdom and repentance. And that means that God is leading us through this process of learning about the kingdom, understanding the kingdom and his goodness, which leads men to repentance. Recently, I was struggling with some things that were just some strongholds, man, just some strongholds, some areas where the enemy has really been able to create some issues in my life. He's really been able to use those things to cause me to draw back, to begin to want to defend myself, to protect myself, to get into some warfare even that I really hadn't been too successful in the past. I've been able to sustain or maintain myself, but not really have absolute victory. And that's the reason why the enemy shows back up, is because he still knows that he's got a little bit of something he can work with. You know what I'm saying? So is it okay to be honest? Is it okay to be real? If not, you might want to just hit the pause or, cancel, hit the close, hit the X, whatever you got to do to get rid of this. But let's be honest. You know what I'm saying? Let's be honest. He's had those things. And, here recently, as I've been dealing with that same issue, it's been the goodness of God that has been showing up in my life. It's what I've been reflecting on. And God's just been reminding me of, you remember the last 5 times that this happened and how things went for you and how you came through the process and how you were okay at the end? Can you think back to how it was in the beginning and then how it is now and how progressively it's less and less? Can you think back to how much you've grown and more you've began to understand me, and you have been able to embrace the love that I have for you, and how you began to really understand how I do love you, and you begin to understand my goodness. So I just wanted to encourage you that maybe you're going through some mess. Maybe you're dealing with some challenging issues. And I used to engage in a lot of warfare as far as, I'd be trying to fight these things and fight these demons and fight these thoughts and fight. And one of the things that the Lord has taught me to do is how to war and rest. And the enemy truly is defeated. And greater is he that is in you than he that's in the world, right? So one of the ways that God and I'm learning how to rest is by reflecting on the goodness of God. And you'd be surprised how much that causes the enemy to be shut down. Because instead of being worried that he has the ability to stop you, you're empowering the goodness of God and enabling the goodness of God in your life. The favor of God in your life becomes empowered when you reflect on that. And maybe you're like me, maybe you've been through this many times. And the struggle in going through that process may seem like that's been the majority of your thought process. But I want to encourage you to begin to think about how God has shown his goodness in those times. And maybe what God's trying to do with you as well is maybe he's trying to teach you about his goodness and how that shows up, so that you're not warring with an enemy that's already defeated, but that the goodness of God is embraced. And that's the war. That's the fight. That you're able to rest. That I'm able to rest in the goodness of God. in the fact that I'm fully embraced in this mess. Fully embraced, man. I don't have to prove anything. I don't have to fight through this. I don't have to be some warrior, some samurai warrior with all these swords and, you know, ninja stars. I don't have to have the biggest weapons and bazookas and tanks. My God is bigger than all of that, and he's good. So be blessed, y'all. I hope you have a great day. Let's reflect on the goodness of God. Let's reflect on him, who he is. And don't let warfare become a distraction where you're actually empowering and enabling the enemy to keep you in a place that you don't even live in. Like you're seated in heavenly places. And when that warfare shows up, it tries to take you out of the heavenly place and bring you here, as if you should be fighting it from here rather than from your seated position. And the goodness of God reminds us where we're seated. Be blessed, y'all.